correct way. If that happens over and over again, then even the correct phrased question becomes leading. I hope, let me know if, yeah, that's my interpretation anyways, and I've heard, other lawyers assert the same thing, so I know I'm not out of line because of this. In support of this motion, the state shows this honorable court the following. Since the start of this trial, counsel... Oh, hold on. I have to do it in whining Fannie Willis. No, I can't do that. Ooh. I'm trying to keep my monetization. I will just use my normal voice. Since the start of this trial, counsel for the defendants have represented to this honorable court that the question posed by the state that refer the witness to the topic to be answered. For instance, do you see Dolly in that picture, or is Dolly wearing a white shirt, or impermissible leading questions? This, in my opinion, is a stupid analogy, a stupid comparison, because that is not how they pose their questions. Or so their assertion that this is what the defense is doing is a straw man. A straw man means a straw man argument is instead of answering the question that was, instead of acknowledging the spoken words from your party opponent, you invent something they would say and reply to that instead. You want me to do a whiny voice instead? Yeah, I'm a bit whiny today. As in, not the glue, 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 the wine, the lime now. Oh, they don't have sound though. Okay, and the jury is on the way in. Let's go through this while we wait. Counsel for the defendants have repeatedly objected to such questions posed by the state, and in many instances, the objections have been sustained by this honorable court. I'm almost sure that the judge already, at this point in time, is not sustaining those objections on a 95% rate. And then, as officers of the court, the state has a duty to present to the court applicable case law that governs contested matters that may arise throughout the trial. Accordingly, the state respectively moves this court in limine to overrule all objections premised upon the notion that the state has asked a leading question, when the question propounded does not suggest an answer, but simply suggests the topic of the answer and calls for a yes or no answer. But that's not what they're doing. And then it's respectfully submitted. And I couldn't. Why the fuck don't I hear any? Oh, there goes my monetization. Why did my sound go all of a sudden really, really bad? Because here I can see that they are there and they aren't. I can't hear it. I don't know what happened. I have to do a restart and find out what the actual F is going on here. Headphones, test. Nope, can't hear a thing. Can't hear a goddamn thing. I'll be right back. I have to do a restart because something is absolutely wrong here. Again, I'll be right back. Give me a minute. Give me a minute, okay? Yeah, it seems my earphones died because I can't hear anything. Not a thing. But I do know that you hear. So I will put the trial up and for you.
All rise for the jury.
I was listening to this. No, I have no sounds in my headphones. No, that doesn't. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I need to find.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Of earphones and things because I can't hear.
All right, thank you, Officer Hudson. All right.
Be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, jury, good afternoon. All right, sorry you had to compete with the vice president in traffic today. So all of you that may have had to come down here today. So without further delay, we're going to go ahead and continue with examination of our current witness. Mr. Copeland, you're still under oath, okay?
Good afternoon. All right. So yesterday we left off talking about your interview that you did on February 20th, 2015. Going back to the incident in which you, your girlfriend at the time, and your child was being shot at, do you remember seeing any of the individuals who shot at you?
I never saw no one that shot at me at that time.
Do you recall in that interview a period of time where the detective left the room and you were speaking with your girlfriend and you told her that you knew who shot at you?
I never saw nobody. I never saw who shot at me. If I saw who shot at me, I would never told the police who shot at me.
Do you recall in this same February 20th, 2021 interview that when the detective left the room, you said to your girlfriend, "This shit not gonna work. Sit right here and be a damn snitch, so I'm gonna keep going." Do you recall telling your girlfriend that?
I don't recall.
Okay. And then she responded, so, Your Honor, it'll be effect on the listener.
Overrule the objection, sir. Overrule, sir.
So what you're saying is why you acting like you did? And she said, you should have just said, no, I thought you know all of them. And you said to her, I do know who it was. Do you recall telling her that?
I know that I knew the camera. I knew that I was being recorded, so I kind of knew what I was doing.
Okay. And then you said, I saw him. I did when he jumped out the car. I know exactly who I saw.
Nobody never got out of the car, so this clearly proved that I knew what I was doing.
Do you recall telling your girlfriend that?
I don't recall what I told her.
Okay. And this was when the detectives had left the room.
I don't recall if they left the room or if they stayed in.
Do you recall further in the interview when the detectives asked you whether or not any of the people who did this had ever been to your home, you instructed your girlfriend to tell the detectives who had recently been at the house?
I don't recall what I told them.
Do you recall the detective asking anybody you let come over to the house recently that normally ain't been by there? And then you told Deshaun, tell him who been there. Do you recall that?
If I brought anybody to my house, I'm 100% sure they know not to play with me.
Sure. Do you also remember when you and your girlfriend were in the room by yourself, you told your girlfriend it was Tay and them who did this to you?
I don't recall.
Was it Tay that shot at your vehicle?
I don't believe so.
Do you recall in that same interview being concerned about being? Let me ask you this. During this time when your home was when you were being shot at with your daughter and your then girlfriend, how many other family members' homes have been shot at that year?
Objection calls for speculation and hearsay.
I'll sustain as to speculation. I will overrule as to hearsay from Mr. Steele.
Okay, this is how I have to do it. I have to listen to my phone in my earbuds because I don't have Bluetooth, because I don't get my headphones to work. Sorry. So I have to press pause on my phone and on the stream at the same time because I don't know how to solve this. My headphones just suddenly decided to die. Hooray, this will be fun. Let's continue. Press play.
To your knowledge, how many of your family members' homes have been shot up back in 2015 after Nut died?
Objection relevance.
Overrule, sir.
I can't recall.
Do you know? Okay, let me ask you this. Was your brother's home shot at?
No.
Okay. Was your girlfriend's mother's home shot at?
Yes.
Okay. Was your sister's home shot at?
Yes.
Was your grandmother's home shot at?
No.
Did you think you were being retaliated against?
Huh?
When all the shootings were happening at your family members' homes, did you think you were being retaliated against?
I didn't think.
Did you know?
Clearly.
Okay. Why were you being retaliated against?
Because people said I killed Nut.
And do you know who was doing the retaliation?
No.
Do you recall telling detective in the same February 20th interview that it was a whole gang after you?
Anytime the investigator talked to me, I do not recall what I have told them.
So you don't recall telling them there was a whole gang after you?
I would told them whatever I think that I need to tell them to convince them to stop watching me.
Was there a whole gang after you?
I don't know.
Was the entire IF gang after you?
I seen a few of them, so I can't say that.
Which were the ones that you saw?
I don't know.
Earlier, I asked you about whether you were concerned about being labeled a snitch. Do you recall telling Detective Copeland,
Detective who?
excuse me, Detective Copeland, Detective Curry,
Now I'm a detective.
or was it? I made a mistake. Talking about
Correct.
Detective Mr. Copeland. I'm about to ask you a question. Do you recall telling the detective, I know if I tell you what's going on, they're going to be on record and all this here, and you're going to get him locked up, and he's going to get his discovery package. First thing they're going to do is send it to two places, to the street and to prison, and float it all around the city of Atlanta, and then all around prison. But my name's over that. I'm not going that way. No, I'm not going through none of that. Look, they shot at me, my girl, and my baby. Almost shot my face off as we're running. I'm not for sure, but I thought I heard one of the bullets hit the car seat or graze the car seat. Were you concerned about snitching in this interview?
I was concerned trying to get my story together, so I was trying to buy time.
Did you also tell in that same interview, I just know the trouble I'm putting myself in. Just know I don't want to have nothing. I don't want to have nothing, man. I can't go to no job. I can't do none of this shit. I know the street not going to be here forever. All things going on right now, just waiting on you niggas to catch up and kill me. Again, not wanting to snitch on who did this to you, your child, and your baby.
My only motive was anytime the police questioned me was try to figure out how could I get myself out of it. Anytime they asked me any questions, I was trying to, if I couldn't come up with no answer right then and there, I was trying to buy time to think of something to say.
When you met with Mr. Curry, weren't you going there as a victim of an aggravated assault? When you went to go meet with the detective that's in that picture,
Okay.
weren't you going to talk with him about being a victim of a crime?
No, I was shooting back. So I thought they were going to try to lock me up for shooting back.
But during the course of that interview, were you made aware that they weren't planning on arresting you because you were protecting yourself?
When they said they would take me downtown, I put my hand behind my back and told him, "You gonna lock me up? Come on, get it out the way now."
And did they ever lock you up?
Cause he wanted the gun. So he gave me 24 hours to give him the gun. When he let me go, I didn't come back with the gun. So they sent the SWAT team to my house to get me.
But when you went the first day, did they ever put handcuffs on you?
Cause they wanted the gun.
Did they ever put handcuffs on you?
You hadn't answered the question.
Did they ever put handcuffs on you?
One of the officers pulled them out and he told him we don't need that.
Okay, so they never put handcuffs on you?
Overruled, sir.
Did they ever put handcuffs on you?
I don't think so.
Okay. And when you left the interview, did you leave that interview without any handcuffs on you?
Yeah, I left. I went back to the streets.
So again, when you went in this interview, you were not in trouble.
I was.
Basis. Overruled, sir.
Were you arrested at?
It seems like the judge read the state's motion and decided to start overruling even more. And to nobody's surprise.
All on February 20th, when you went to go speak to the police about being shot at, were you ever arrested that day when you went down to tell the police about what happened to you, your child, and your girlfriend?
They locked me up the next day.
I asked you, were you arrested that day?
No, they locked me up the next day.
Were you arrested that day?
Objection, Your Honor, arguing that it's an answer.
Overruled, sir.
Were you arrested that day?
No.
Did you want the police to go and find the people who actually killed Nut so that people would stop retaliating against you?
Yeah.
Do you recall being asked by the detective, you knew one of them. I know you knew one of them. Your face tells the story. Now, out of all the ones, I mean, you might know the other ones, but I know you know one of them because the face tells the story. Because the face tells the story of somebody being close that you trusted. And your response was, it ain't that. The truth is,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that
It
person because
is
I'm not
asked and
100%
answered
sure,
most
but I
of
know
the
only
time.
one person.
But judge decided to overrule
What's your
everything.
base of your objection, sir?
Foundation, predicate.
Okay,
predicate transfer.
foundation and predicate. I'll sustain the objection. Go ahead.
So
and
how
rephrase,
about?
madam.
Did you know at least one of the individuals that were shooting at you back in February of 2015?
On my daughter's life, when that car pulled up on me, all I saw was a gun come out the window.
Yeah, but still, I would have the same issues here with pausing and everything. So I might as well keep having my phone here.
They said I never seen no one face. They was questioning me. They constantly kept telling me, you gonna let dudes shoot at you and your kids and this and that. And I'm telling them, and they won't believe me that I'm telling them I didn't see nobody's face. I didn't see nobody's face. And then after a while, I got tired of them asking me. So I don't recall if I just went ahead and said, yeah, I seen Tay. I don't know how it came out, but in my heart, and still to this day in my heart, I do not believe Tay had anything to do with me getting shot at.
Okay. Do you recall telling your girlfriend when it was just the two of you, I did when he jumped out the car? I know exactly who I saw.
I don't, at that point, it was so much pressure on me. Yeah, I'm a daughter crying, trying to take her to the hospital. Somebody pull up on me soon. I'm trying to figure out what made me have a gun to go to the hospital. It's all type of stuff going through my mind. I don't know. Too much going on. Yeah, I can't because she keep asking me these questions and.
Mr. Copeland, just take a breath, okay? We do need to take down your testimony, so you do need to speak a little slower, all right? Okay?
All right.
Yeah, I'm checking everything on the computer. Says my headphones are on,
Can we
but
continue?
there is no
I don't
sound
got nothing else to
from the
say.
headphones. So apparently
About
they
which
gave
part?
up.
Regarding the gun that you used to shoot back at these individuals, who were you going to give? Which police officer were you going to give the gun to?
Huh?
Which police officer were you going to give the gun to?
Neither.
Okay. Who did you tell them you were going to give the gun to?
Whichever one they were asking for it.
Do you recall them telling you needed to give the gun to Gaither?
I don't recall. I know they said they want that gun as part of investigation. I knew it was a trick. I told him if he let me go, I go get it and bring it back. He went for it.
And why didn't you get the gun?
Huh?
Why didn't you go and give them the gun?
You know, it helped him lock me up.
At any point in time, did you ever get arrested for shooting back at those individuals?
Thank God.
Do you recall them asking you some more questions about Tay, and you providing them information about where Tay was from, what part of Atlanta he was from?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you recall the detective asking you, we only know there's a guy by the name of Tay. Where's Tay from? What area he live in? And you told him that he was from Simpson Road area. You recall telling the detective that?
I guess I don't remember what I said to him.
Do you recall?
Because at that point he had put too much pressure on me, and you know what I mean. I'm just thinking because he told me. I remember him saying he want that gun. That's all I remember him kept saying. He want that gun.
And when you say putting pressure, what do you mean?
Same thing you doing to me now. You keep putting pressure on me.
Okay. Was he yelling at you at all during this interview?
I think he kept saying, I'm letting people shoot at me while I got my child, and my loyalty to the streets, my loyalty to my child.
Okay. So was he just trying to get you to tell him who did this to you, your child and your baby?
I stand the question as a form.
Did he ever threaten you to give a name?
Nah, but he kept asking me to make me say a name, and you like how you keep asking me a question. I'm gonna say something to answer you, so you can stop asking me the same question.
Were you concerned about how you were going to survive the attacks on you and your family?
Yes.
And again, were you concerned that because you had already spoken to the police about Nuts' homicide, that people were considering you a snitch, that people thought you were a snitch?
I don't get what you're saying. Can you say that again?
Were you concerned that people already thought that you were a snitch when you did this interview?
What interview?
With the detective after you were shot at? After you were shot at with your girlfriend and your daughter?
No, my only concern was no.
Do you recall telling the detective in this same February 20th interview, I came and talked down here. Everybody look at me like I'm a snitch now. It's just like I can't get no money. You know, I was just getting money just by doing nothing. It's just like, hey man, I need to borrow this right here, just hanging around, going to the mall. He paid for everything, but all of them, now they all come out here, they think I'm a snitch.
I always got my own money. When I need money, I knew how to go get it.
Would Thug give you money at times?
I'm not a handout type of person.
Would Thug give you money at times?
I never asked Thug for no money.
Would Thug give you money at times?
I can't recall if he gave me money, but I never asked him for no money.
When you said he paid for everything, who were you referencing?
The big money, the ballers.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to look in old drawers and old bags to see if I can find any plug-in earphones.
Were you
I'll be right
concerned
back.
that
You keep
young
listening to this.
Thug had washed his hands of you?
Huh?
Were you concerned because you had been speaking to police that Thug had washed his hands of you?
No, I didn't need Thug.
All right. Do you recall telling the detective in the same interview on February 20th, 2015, he asked you, so basically Young Thug washed his hands of you? And your response, yeah, because I came and talked to the detectives and the folks in the street saying, I'm a snitch, I'm a snitch, I'm a snitch. Nobody don't want to hang around me. I called my partners. They don't want to hang around me. It's like, what the hell? What the hell I'm from? What the hell is going on? Do you recall telling the police that?
The police so concerned about Thug, I was removing myself from him.
Do you recall at all talking to this detective about what happened that Monday night at Club Crucial with you and Kel, the fight between you and Kel?
I don't recall nothing specific that me and him talk about outside of the shooting with my child. And I barely remember some of this stuff. You talking about some years ago when I don't even know what I did 3-4 days ago. Like,
Do you recall telling your girlfriend, again, when the two of you were alone in the room, no matter which way it go, I'm going to lose anyway if I tell them that Tay did it? You recall having that conversation? Do you recall alone in that same interview room with your girlfriend, and you told her, no matter which way it go, I'm going to lose anyway. I tell them that Tay did it.
on my child life, once again, on Izari life, I never seen no one face that was in that car shoot at me. At any time, if they got out the car, to this point, I never knew who shot at me. So when that detective was asking me, I just had to come up with something. I got no reason to lie about it. I didn't see nobody who shot at me. So y'all going back into interrogation when I'm telling you the truth. I don't know who shot at me. I have told them I didn't know. When they're gonna keep asking me, make me know, okay, cool. I'm gonna say, I'm done.
Do you recall being hesitant in the February 21st interview, and we're going to get to that interview with Detective Gaither, when she showed you a photographic lineup, and you actually eventually pointed Tay out of a photographic lineup?
Because I know Gaten. You know what I mean? I know Gaten. I know that, you know what I mean? She one of them people that she got it out for me, so I didn't care. I was just trying to get it out. I get them out for me and trying to convince her. And trying to convince her is very hard to do. So I had to go through with it. Even though in my heart, I knew that he didn't shoot at me, or he would have never shot at me. And to be more clear on it, before I went back to jail the last time, I was right around him. So I would never be with nobody that I believe shot at me while I had my child.
Why did you say Tay did it versus anyone else?
First thing came to my mind.
Why was Tay the first person that came to your mind versus anyone else?
Because in the midst of trying to convince the police so they could leave me alone, I just got shot at. Only thing was in my mind was, get back.
Okay, but you had to beef with Kel. Why not say it was Kel?
Because I had to convince them. I gotta make it seem. If I say Kel shot me, they're gonna, how you know? How Kel know where you stay at? So I gotta come up with something to make them know. Okay, well, Tay been over here. You know what I mean? So okay, Tay. I don't know. Like,
But
listen, you keep asking me. I told you I don't know who shot at me.
why would Gaither have it out for you?
That would be speculation, sir.
I sustain the objection.
Well, you said she had it out for you. What makes you think she had it out for you?
I'll let him answer that question. It's posed.
You said she had it out for you. What makes you think she had it out for you?
Because she was trying her best to get me. She was trying to catch me.
Didn't she advise you to leave town?
That would be hearsay.
But Your Honor, it's a contradiction of what?
Not a contradiction.
Hold on.
Success. Somewhat. I found in my car an old set of plug-in earphones. You see, here's one. It's still, so it's broken, but we'll manage. We will manage. Success. For a while. All right, here we go.
That come from where's that come from? Where's that statement come from?
His interview with her during the course
You
of
need to
it.
reference that. I'll rule the objection.
In your February 21st interview with her, did she ask you to leave town, go somewhere else, Cobb County, Clayton County? Did she tell you to lay low? so that you wouldn't get killed?
No, she was saying it because she's saying it. My name was my. She just said my name kept coming up a lot.
Right. So she did not want you to be harmed. So why would she have it out for you?
I sustain the objection. You can rephrase.
During the course of that interview, was she encouraging you to lay low?
And it's really terrible sound in this. So I'm trying to raise the volume for myself, but not for you.
Do you recall her doing that?
I think she was. I thought she was faking. So I don't know.
Outside of the interviews, would you talk to Gaither? Would you call Gaither on the phone?
No, the only time I talked to Gaither is when she called, but it was never about nothing in the streets or nothing.
Right. So
It was, hey, Miss Copeland, your name involved in the shooting. We want you downtown. This only time she called me, hey, Miss Copeland, they say you shot up this person's house. We need you downtown. I don't recall me and her having no conversation.
Paul, Nikki, great music. I don't have music on, have I? Because if I do, I can't hear it. Let me try again. Yeah, I can hear my elevator music. No music. Okay, thank you.
Conversations about nothing.
when you were locked up, would you have your girlfriend call Detective Gaither for you so you can speak with her?
You heard where I was, right? Where was I? In jail?
So if she had it out for you, why are you trying to call Detective Gaither?
Because I'm trying to, all she got to do is give me a name. I'm going to try to convince her so she can get me out of jail.
But if she has it out for you, why would you trust Detective Gaither?
I don't trust her. I'm trying to play on her.
Isn't it weird how much more he remembers today compared to yesterday when he claimed he didn't remember crap? He, from those years, nothing of the sort. He doesn't remember. If he said it to these investigators, he probably did. Today, his recollection is amazing. I would assume that he is lying because he moves his mouth, which he has learned from Prosecutor Love and Hilton. But they have threatened him enough throughout the week, so now he talks. That is my belief of what happened during the time that we can't hear about. They keep having these meetings where he supposedly voluntarily shares information. There's no voluntary here. This is Judge Glanville and the prosecution's team actively threatening witnesses until they say what they want them to say. Eric says, yeah. Oh, no.
I want to go back very briefly to
Paula says, but the answer is giving our crap. Yeah, but they are coherent. Now it's no longer that what he did yesterday with the, he doesn't recall. I don't know what you're saying. And so it's still crap, but it's coherent crap.
the interview that you did, the first interview you did with Detective Gaither, after your car was shot up on the car was shot at on the highway.
Okay.
During that interview, at the time when your car got shot at, did you know about Lucci's mother's home being shot at?
What you mean?
Were you aware that Lucci's mother's home was shot at?
Huh?
When you met with Detective Gaither,
Right.
about what happened on the highway. During that time period, were you aware of Lucci's mother's home being shot at?
No.
Do you recall talking to Detective Gaither in that January 28th interview about Lucci's home being shot at?
I can't recall.
During that interview, do you remember telling Detective Gaither and Detective Dennis that Lucci's mama and dad got shot? So Nick called Big Boo's phone, and we was at Big Boo's house. Do you recall telling them that?
I don't recall.
Let me ask you this. Do you recall independently being with Big Boo and Lucci's manager calling his house, calling his phone, trying to give him $20,000 to find out whoever shot up Lucci mama's house?
Form the question.
I'll sustain this to form. You can rephrase.
Do you recall being at Big Boo's house and someone from Lucci's manager calling Big Boo back in 2015?
I don't recall.
Sure.
I can go out.
All right, do we have it? Or oh, we are even a few minutes behind. And there she is with a top bun today. I'm guessing she has a top bun today because I saw on the Twitters that they said her ponytail yesterday looked like the back end of a horse. So today it's in a top bun. All right. That brings us to hide more counter 212. All right, now we can skip through a bit. Because we were a bit behind while I was desperately trying to find somewhere to hear the court.
Please.
Oh.
All right, so you can continue when ready.
Thank you. So I'll just ask you again. Back in 2015, do you recall being with Big Boo when Lucci's manager called him?
I don't recall.
Do you recall telling Detective Dennis and Gaither in the January 28th interview, Lucci's mama and dad got shot, so Nick called Big Boo's phone. We was at Big Boo's house. And the first thing that nigga said was, hey, Boo, Lucci's mom and dad got shot. Somebody shot up his mama and dad. Somebody's house got shot up. It's $20,000. It's $20,000, man. There's $20,000 on their head, or whatever they said. And you heard that conversation.
I don't recall.
Okay. And once you heard the conversation, that you took the phone from Big.
How is this not hearsay? They are claiming that he, in an interview, he does not remember. He claims that he heard something. That is by definition hearsay. But in this courtroom, we already know the judge allows everything. No matter how vague and stupid the prosecution's reasons are, he will allow every piece of evidence in now and every piece of testimony, because why not? He already did unthinkable, unethical things, the judge. So he might as well go all out.
Big boo, and you told the person on the phone, I ain't did nothing. I didn't do that, bro. You know, don't scream my name. I didn't do that. And you kept telling that person that you did not shoot up his mother's house. Do you recall doing that?
I don't recall.
And did you shoot up Lucy's mama's house? You shake your head just so.
No.
Okay. Now, back in 2015, who were the people that you would spend the most time outside of your family? Who were the people that you would spend the most time with?
Huh?
Back in 2015, outside of your family, who were your friends that you spent the most time with?
My friends.
Who?
You want me to name every single person?
Yeah.
I'm not about to name every single person.
Okay. So who were the people that you would spend the most time with?
I can't recall.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither that you only keep a couple people around you, and it's really just Little D and Shannon? Do you recall telling them that?
Probably so. I can't recall.
Okay. And then you also
All right. Ghost. Don't fight it. Here's Mr. Jingles. Hello, Mr. Jingles. Oh, how you love when I do this. Huh? Don't you? Showing you off to the audience. Look at that happy face. Look at that happy face, who is absolutely not thinking about how to shred me to pieces. Let's continue.
also said sometimes Moonsoon, but he might come around, but not every day.
I don't recall.
And then you said, I really have my, then you also further went to say, I really wouldn't want nobody around me but Little D.
Your Honor, form of the question is my same objection.
I sustain the question. You can rephrase.
Sure. Between Shannon and Little D, who's the person you would have most around you?
Huh?
Between Shannon and Little D, who would you spend more time with?
I don't know.
Do you recall telling Detective Dennis and Gaither that I wouldn't want nobody around but Little D?
I probably said it because I was trying to run the play on them.
Okay.
But I don't remember what I said to them.
Back in 2015.
Anytime they question me, like I said, you keep asking me about what I supposed to told them. Anytime they question me, I just said whatever came to my mind or whatever I could have thought of in a split second. So I don't know. I don't know what I said to them.
Back in 2015, did you trust Little D?
Here's the thing. What the prosecution is using this to impeach him for prior statements. In my opinion, impeachment should be towards statements that are at least somewhat close in time, especially when this guy, by his own admission, was a doped up criminal not to be trusted at all. So in my opinion, they should reform the impeachment statute in order to make it work better than to be used like this to draw out. Because if his answer to the one question is, I cannot recall anything I said in that interview, then that should be, and it's a decade ago, because he was a doped up criminal back then, and up until very recently, he just served his umpteenth time in jail or prison. At that point in time, they should just play the damn video. This is what you don't remember, or something of the sort. So, I mean, I'm not sure exactly how it should be reformed, but this is just plain stupid, because they did this to Slug, and with Slug on the stand. Nagging on and on and on and on. Did you this? Did you this? Did you that? When they can simply ask him, because now when he is claiming he's telling the truth, then let him speak his mind, and then it's up to the defense to impeach him, not the prosecution. He's their witness.
Say that again?
Back in 2015, did you trust Little D?
No.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither and Dennis, I really have my trust in him, speaking about Little D?
You said I really had my trust in him?
Yes.
No, man.
And that,
Go ahead.
and that Little D ain't never going to turn his back on me.
I told you, I'm trying to tell them whatever they would have went for. Because yeah.
The gun that Little D from Cleveland bought from you from the pawn shop, what kind of gun was that?
I can't recall.
Do you recall it being, as you described, a chopper?
Probably so.
Can you tell the jury what you
11.
would describe as a chopper?
So
What type of gun is a
play
chopper?
this in 1.25.
I can't recall.
You don't know what type of gun a chopper is? Do you not know what type of gun a chopper is?
I don't know what I done told them.
I'm asking you separately. What kind of gun did Little D purchase for you?
A rifle,
Okay. Is a rifle a chopper?
I guess.
Have you ever had the occasion to give Nut back items that was stolen from him? Back in 2015 before he passed away.
Yeah,
Okay. First, who stole the items?
I didn't.
Do you recall telling me the other day that you did take the items?
Yeah. I said, I don't.
Did you?
Did you remember that you the other day said you did? So now they are impeaching him for lying under oath. So how are we supposed to believe anything he's saying? I hope that, yeah, I would assume that the defense is taking note of that is actually, by the question from the prosecution, admitted now that he might have lied under oath during these proceedings.
Tell me
You
that
just asked me, did I give it back to him? I gave it back to him.
okay. My question is, do you know who stole it?
Huh?
Do you know who stole
I told him a friend of mine stole it.
it? Okay. Did you tell me something differently?
I probably did.
Do you remember what you told me?
What did I tell you?
Do you recall what you told me?
I just asked you.
So do you not recall what you told me?
I told you I gave it back to him.
Do you recall telling me that you actually stole those items, but you did give it back to him?
Do you have an objection?
Sir,
Basis.
prosecutor is the lawyer.
Are you talking about the foundation for the question, or form of the question, or what?
Jesus Christ, Judge Glanville, she's testifying. If this isn't taken down or recorded, if it's just oral, in my opinion, I would assume that she's lying, because she knows that she can lie to this guy and he has no idea why and will just answer. This is so stupid. Do you recall telling me? And then she says what he was what he is supposed to have said in a meeting that he supposedly had with them voluntarily while they surrounded him with their own staff, cops, and everything. Jesus Christ. This is this is criminal from the prosecution, the way they act in this trial.
Is that the prosecutor testifying as personal knowledge?
Your Honor, I'm asking.
Cross-examination.
Your Honor, I'm asking a question, but I can clarify who all was in the room.
Yeah, why don't we do that? I'll sustain the question as to the current.
Do you recall meeting with me, investigator Long, and maybe investigator Lancico, and telling us in the room that it was you who stole it, but you did give the items back to him?
I can't recall.
So he's just bullshitting with the prosecution because under pressure, he bullshits. That's his signum. When you put him under pressure with cops, yeah, she just goes for impeachment, and it's, as Eric Rose says, she just goes for impeachment, and it's fine all of a sudden. She's testifying to what was said, and to my knowledge, it wasn't recorded.
When you gave the items back to him, do you remember where you were? Where did you meet him at?
In my neighborhood.
Okay. And was he with anyone when you met with him to give the items back?
I think so.
Do you remember who he was with?
I can't say who the people were there with him.
Do you remember him being with Greedy, his brother?
Probably so. I don't know.
Do you remember just telling the detectives in that January interview he was with Greedy, his brother was there?
I guess I don't know. I can't recall.
Do you remember what type of car Donovan had? Oh, excuse me, Nut had.
A truck.
Do you remember what kind of truck?
It was just a truck.
Do you remember telling the detectives back in that January interview it was a green Tahoe?
Probably did. I don't know.
Do you remember what the items were that you gave back to him?
Yeah, his driver license, phone, and his necklace.
Describe for the jury if you remember what the necklace looked like.
Yeah, I know.
What you mean?
Do you remember what the necklace looked like?
This is what they do when they have criminal with a supposed plea deal or something they have, or they coerced. They are allowed to lie. We don't know what he actually told the prosecutor and the investigators, because apparently wasn't recorded. Because even if they write down the things and hand it over to the defense, I don't trust that what they write down to the defense is actually correct. I believe with all my heart that the prosecution at this time, during this trial, has developed, we might as well lie because we want a conviction. I'm confident in saying they are this unethical that they would falsify what he said to them in order to get something on the record.
Do you remember what the chain looked like?
Yeah, it was a necklace.
Was it a peanut? Do you remember?
Oh, I think so. I think it was a nut.
If you don't remember, it's okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Hi, Siobhan. Good to have you here.
We just talked about who you would hang around with from Mechanicsville. Do you recall telling Detective Gaither and Dennis back in 2015 that you're not going to see you hang with anybody besides Shannon and Dee, who was from Mechanicsville?
Shannon ain't from Canterville.
Do you remember?
I don't remember saying it.
Okay. And do you remember also telling the detectives that there's not going to be one time that you and Dee are not together?
I don't recall. But it's not gonna be no time that me, D, and Shannon is not together. Not just me and D.
So the three of you will be together.
When me and D together, it's me, D, and Shannon.
Okay.
Yeah, when we get to a break, let's get to Fanny Willis. Apparently, is very, very butthurt. See what I did there? That people mispronouncing her name, that it sounds like the rear end of a female anatomy, the Fanny. Well, over here in Europe, Fanny is the front end of a woman. So she should actually blame her parents for giving her a name that is the entire undercarriage of a woman.
Now, we've talked about briefly another interview that you did with Detective Gaither after you were arrested for probation once your child and your child's mother was shot at. Do you remember that? All right. And do you remember meeting with Detective Gaither after you had gotten arrested?
No.
Hey, Tammy.
Service. Discuss, were you upset that they arrested you for failure to comply with community service? I know you're shaking your head. You have to say yes or no for the record. And during the course of that interview, where you asked to tell Detective Gaither about what happened with you, Deshaun, and your daughter.
I don't recall.
Do you recall in that interview also talking to her about Nuts murder?
I can't recall.
And during this interview, do you recall telling her that on the day that Nut was killed, you initially were at home at Deshaun's house?
That's where I was, but I don't recall what I told her.
And that you got a phone call from Little D?
I don't know.
I'll sustain the objection.
We've already talked about where you were on the day that Nut passed away. Do you recall us talking about that over the course of the last few days?
I don't know.
Do you remember us talking about Nut's murder yesterday?
What you mean?
Do you remember me questioning you about where you were when Nut passed away yesterday?
You said you asked me that yesterday?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. If you don't remember, that's fine. Do you remember or no?
No, you didn't ask me yesterday.
Okay. Do you remember us talking about it since you've been on the stand, though?
Yeah, talking about what?
The day that Nut passed away.
Yeah, that's what it's about, right?
Okay, cool. You're on permission to approach?
As long as you're showing that to the defense counsel, please.
D1, do you see yourself in that picture? Is that you?
I guess.
Does it look like you?
I guess.
Yes or no? Is that you?
If you say it's me, it's me.
I'm asking you, is it you?
Yeah, I guess. Yes, it's me.
And is that Detective Gaither?
He's like a man.
Do you recognize that to be Detective Gaither?
No, I can't tell I can't tell for real.
Was this?
Asked and answered. Asked and answered.
Permission to.
So now they are probably showing a still from the interview that they will show eventually. So we have gone through days. Oh, well, it's Friday. They started last Friday. This is a week of him on the stand, and they are still playing the video. Remember, the judge is claiming it's the defense that is wasting the court's time, that is prolonging this trial. Idiot.
Mr. Coco, I'm showing you a portion of 378 Yankee Delta on here. Does that look, do you see yourself in this video? Yes or no?
Yeah.
All right. Looking at this screen, are you able to tell who that is?
Yeah, that's her.
That's her?
Yeah.
Does that appear to be the same individual in the picture that I have in front of you?
It looked like the same picture.
You're right, this time the state would like to attend the state's 378 Yankee Delta 1.
Any objection to states 378 Yankee Delta 1? Hearing none, it's admitted, maybe published as you see fit.
And welcome. I like your coverage of this this trial as well. When I have the time, I actually watch you.
Mr. Kearns, can you enable share? And if you could bring it down, no, down. And just roll out. Thanks. Mr. Koba, are you able to see the dates and the time of that interview?
Yeah, right there.
What is the date and time of that interview?
February 21,
And what year is that?
2015.
Now, during this interview, do you remember anyone else being in the interview room with you? Do you recall Detective Thorpe was in there with you?
I don't know.
And during that interview, do you recall talking to Detective Gaither again about what happened between you, Deshaun, and your baby?
I don't know. I don't remember.
And during that interview, did Detective Gaither also ask you who shot at you? Do you remember Detective Gaither asking you about that?
I don't remember.
Do you remember being concerned in that interview about being labeled a snitch as well?
I don't remember.
Do you recall Detective Gaither trying to encourage you to tell them who did it so she can help you so you don't have to be getting shot at in the streets?
But if I already told them Tay did, why would she be asking me that?
Because you recall this being the first interview with Gaither. You had not met Gaither prior to this interview.
I don't remember what me and Gaither talked about.
Okay.
What I said to her.
Do you remember telling her, if I tell you anything, guess what happens? That make it even worse. What makes it worse? Everybody, oh, now I'm a snitch. And remember asking how you would snitch when somebody was trying to kill you and your baby. How was that snitching?
Okay. If there was the truth, why would I wait till later or at any point and say anything to the police? It's self-explanatory.
What is self-explanatory?
The whole thing. You seen here tonight what I told to the investigator, and I'm so concerned about being labeled a snitch. So why would I tell them the truth to anything if they trying to say I'm concerned about being labeled a snitch? So if I'm gonna tell them something that sooner or later gonna get out in the streets, why would I be concerned about being labeled a snitch? It doesn't make sense.
Do you recall being reluctant to tell the detectives who it was?
No, I was trying to buy time to come up with something to tell them so they can get up off me or let me out of jail.
Okay. The interview that you had on February 20th, what time was your interview on February 20th, 2015? What time
This paper?
What time does that say?
What about it?
What time is it on here?
1:41
What, AM or PM?
a.m.
And then what time did you meet with Detective Gaither?
Well, look like I got on a right street outfit, so I didn't meet with her. And it's a 3:53.
On February 21st?
Yeah,
Is that PM?
p.m.
So did you meet with Detective Gaither the next day after you met with the first investigator?
Yeah.
All right.
That's what they say.
So if you just wanted to make something up, didn't you have time to make up a new name if it wasn't Tay?
She would gave me, it's hard to convince her. I got it. Whatever I tell her, I got to stick with it.
Thank you for being here.
Wouldn't you want to tell Gaither the truth if you were trying to get out of jail? If you were trying to get out of jail, wouldn't you tell her the truth?
But if she asks me about something that I don't know and I'm trying to get out of jail, I gotta act like I know.
Did you ever try just telling the truth to get out of jail?
Have I? Probably. I don't know what I don't told her, so I can't remember what I told her, so I don't
How bad did you want to get out of jail?
want to get out of jail.
No.
So wouldn't you want to tell the truth to get out of jail?
But
versus lying?
what he was asked and told another detective. This is so stupid.
I'll rule the objection.
Wouldn't you want to tell the truth to get out of jail?
But if they ask me who shot at me and I didn't see nobody shoot at me, and they constantly thinking that I seen somebody shoot at me, and I keep telling them I didn't see nobody shoot at me, they don't want to believe me, so what I got to do then?
Yeah, this goes to, remember Detective Velasquez, who admitted on the stand that when he didn't like an answer, he kept pressuring until he got an answer he liked. Oh, turn my mic up a pinch, okay. Yeah, Detective Velasquez, when he didn't like an answer, he kept asking until he got an answer he liked. Then he erased all previous statements, destroying evidence. And I assume this is the signum of Atlanta Police Department. They don't give up until they get an answer they like. And now this guy is getting impeached because the cops in those interrogations rooms are pressuring until they get an answer they like. And now he's getting impeached for buckling under pressure. Welcome to Atlanta Justice, where you are being held to answer as if it's your fault that the cops are bad.
And if I feel like this is the only reason I'm going to jail, I got to stick to what I don't tell her.
So why tell your girlfriend that? When no police are in the room,
I don't know.
why tell your girlfriend that?
I don't know. I don't recall me sitting there just telling her that. I don't even understand how his name even came about from the start. I just know once I heard Tay, that's why I just stuck with Tay. I don't know if I brought it up. Which I doubt I brought it up because I didn't have no reason to bring your name up.
How would the police know who Tay was?
I don't know.
How would the police know if Tay was even in your neighborhood at the time?
I don't know.
So why would the police bring up Tay?
And I said, I don't know.
I'll sustain the objection.
Do you recall providing Detective Gaither a picture of Tay before ever even getting into the interview room?
No,
Do you recall during the interview when you told her it was Tay, you told her, I gave you a picture of him?
I don't recall.
And do you recall her pulling up the picture and showing you the picture in the interview on her phone?
I recall her showing me a picture of him
And do you recall not really want to point him out on there?
because I knew at that point what she was doing. They was forcing me to say it was him who shot me. Because I like I keep telling you now, and to this day, I still feel as in they did that. Like I never seen him shoot at me.
She's confusing her own witness because she gains something from it. Every time he makes an answer that it doesn't comply with the answers he gave in that interview, she gets to impeach him. And the judge allows it.
Even when they called me, try to get me to come to trial on it, I told them I'm not coming to trial because I never saw who shot at us. And they said, well, Mr. Cope, all right, y'all can call me. I didn't see who shot at me.
Were you concerned about being labeled a snitch because of what was happening to your cousin?
My only concern was not being able.
That's a possibility, Eric Rose. Eric Rose says they're talking about a gun again. I think she's trying to get him jammed up with the feds. Yeah. Because if they can claim that gun crossed state borders, then it's a federal crime. Then it doesn't matter what immunity she gave him. Then the feds can prosecute him.
To protect my family.
Do you recall telling Detective Gaither that you were concerned because your cousin was being tortured because he was labeled a snitch?
My only concern was being in jail and not able to protect my family.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Gaither, in referencing your cousin, well, he's getting tortured. Everywhere he goes, he's a fucking rat. Don't nobody want him around. This and that, this and that. And then he turned right around, and I'm in the same damn shoes he's in. But I won't. I don't know if he did whatever he had going on, but you.
Here's the thing. They have the video. Why is she testifying to what was said when they can just play it? Because the judge allows it. Because he's a corrupt judge. A legally and morally corrupt judge.
Didn't want to be labeled a snitch.
This is the police talking to me, and they're not trying to hear what I'm saying. They're trying to force me to say that somebody shot at me. I did not see shoot at me. I am trying everything in my power to not allow this man. I'm not going to protect nobody that shot at me and my child.
Have you hit?
Did you ever give Gaither the gun that you used in the to shoot back at those individuals who shot at you and your child?
Nope.
Why not?
Because you're going to use it against me.
Who did you get the gun from?
What you mean, who I got it from?
Who did you get the gun?
I stand objection.
Do you recall being shown a photographic lineup with Tay inside of the photographic lineup?
Say that again.
In this interview, do you recall being shown a photographic lineup?
I think so.
Okay. And do you recall not wanting to sign the photographic lineup?
Right. I do remember.
Okay. Why didn't you want to sign the photographic lineup?
Because in my heart and from facts, I didn't see who shot at me, and they constantly kept trying to say, they kept pushing me to say, to make me think that I saw somebody I know I didn't see.
All right. I want to kind of switch gears. Do you know someone by the name of Trivia?
Who?
Trivia.
Who is it?
Do you know someone by the name of Trivia? Do you know who Moon Tung's girlfriend was back in 2015?
Mm, no, I don't remember who his girlfriend is.
Okay. Do you know someone by the name of Antrevia?
I never heard the name before. I don't know.
Okay. Do you recall talking to a Detective Lewis in the same interview regarding Trevia being Kel and Moon Tung's girlfriend?
Oh, her? What about her?
So my question is, so do you now know who Trevia is?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Okay. And back in 2015, do you recall her home being shot up during the time of early 2015?
I remember.
Okay. And were you accused of shooting up her home?
That's what she told the police.
Did you shoot up her home?
No.
In the 3 interviews we've talked about so far, were you asked by the investigators to tell the truth? In the interviews we talked about so far?
It don't matter.
Yes or no? Do you recall being asked to tell the truth?
I don't know. I don't
God bless
recall.
you. God bless you. You don't recall if you were asked to tell the
I
truth?
don't.
If you were asked to tell the truth, why wouldn't you tell the truth in those interviews?
Why wouldn't I tell the truth?
Yes.
Because I know the police are trying to lock me up.
What would they be trying to lock you up for?
Say that again.
What would they be trying to lock you up for?
Whatever they can put on me.
Did you ever?
Yeah, much like you did, Miss Hilton and Judge Glanville, in that secret meeting you had the other day, where you together coerced this man into testifying, or else he would spend the next decade in jail. Remember that? Yeah, that's how the police also probably did to him in those interviews. Kept pressuring him, threatening with severe jail time, prison time, until he said something they thought was useful.
Now, would telling the truth have gotten you locked up?
Huh?
I stand the question.
Now, in June of 2015, were you arrested for having a gun at the Dunbar Recreation Center?
Say that. Can you say that again?
In June of 2015, were you arrested for having a gun in the Dunbar Recreation Center?
In June, was I arrested?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yeah.
Can you tell the jurors what occurred at the Dunbar Recreation Center?
I was playing basketball. The police came there and locked me up.
And why did the police lock you up?
Because I'm wounded.
Did you have a gun at the Dunbar Recreation
I had a basketball in my hand.
Center? Was there a gun also at the Dunbar Recreation Center?
They say it was.
Where was that gun located?
I was placed in handcuffs, walked out. I don't know.
Did you have a gun inside of an H&M bag while at the Dunbar Recreation Center?
I was in the basketball. I was in the recreation center playing basketball. I had my shirt off with no gun on me playing basketball.
Did you take a gun to the Dunbar Recreation Center in H&M bag?
I was playing basketball in the Dunbar Recreation Center.
So the answer is no, that you did not have a gun at the.
What I'm saying, well, I was playing basketball. When I looked up, I seen a whole bunch of police in there walking towards me, putting my hand behind my back, and asked me, was it bad mine? I said, I don't know nothing about no bad. They took me to the car. There was a whole lot more police that came. They took me from Mechanicsville to Turnerfield and asked me, was their gun mine or was their bag mine? I told them I don't know nothing about nothing. They said, if they find out that their gun or their bag was mine, they're gonna come back and lock me up. I said, do your job. They let me go. And that was it.
And did they let you go that first day?
They let me go.
All right. Did they eventually arrest you for that gun in that bag?
They did.
All right. And was that the gun that was purchased by Quindarius Zachary for you?
I guess.
Yes, no, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I went to jail for.
Okay. So that was the gun, the chopper that we talked about earlier.
I'm gonna overrule the objection. That was Mr. Steele, asked and answered.
Was that the chopper that we discussed earlier?
We discussed this earlier.
The gun that was recovered, is that the chopper that was purchased at Arrowhead Pawn Shop by Quindarius Zachary?
That's the gun that sent me to the feds.
And is that the gun that was found at Dunbar Recreation Center?
I guess so.
Why did you have the gun at Dunbar Recreation Center?
I just plead guilty to it.
Did you tell officers that you were trying to sell that gun and that's why you had it at the Dunbar Recreation Center?
Again, I was going to jail.
Ms. Hilton, before you posit some other questions, I think we probably need to take a comfort break. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's take about 10 minutes and see where the afternoon leads us, okay? All right.
Let's
All right.
talk about during this comfort break. That could be anything from 10 minutes to next week. Let's talk about Fannie Willis whining about people mispronouncing her name. I will just get set to get to, where is it?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our jury's left us for a recess.
There it is. Oh, shit. It's CNN. I'll see if I can find an article instead. Ah, here. Okay. Manage option. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, these options. No, you don't have legitimate. All right. Dun, dun, dun. There. Let's change the overlay so you also can see it. There. This is so stupid. All these banners everywhere. At least I don't get the pop-up crap anymore. Whoever thought it was a good idea to reintroduce pop-up ads, that's an evil person. I hate those with a passion. Fannie Willis is tired of idiots pronouncing her name as Fanny. Says it reminds them of a woman's rear. Okay, but Miss Fannie Willis, now you are attacking women whose name is Fanny with that spelling. That's misogynistic. I lived the experience of a black woman who is attacked and over-sexualized. Not one person in their right mind is over-sexualizing you, Fannie Willis. And hiding behind the color of your skin is just pathetic. Fulton County, Georgia, District Attorney Fannie Willis is butthurt with people mispronouncing her name, claiming that idiots purposefully call her Fanny because it reminds them of a woman's rear. Willis' first name is pronounced Fanny. Is that better? Jackass? Is that better? Jackass. Yeah, jackass. Am I pronouncing it correctly now? Jackass. The Democratic DA, yeah, they have to put that in. Yeah. Who has charged former president with RICO crimes, spoke to a crowd of supporters on Thursday at a black church outside of Atlanta. I assume they are meaning a church focused on black people. A black church is a bit different. And we already know she lied in church at the Martin Luther King sermon about her involvement with her toy boy, the married man at the time, Nathan Wade, how they did the gidoinky doink on Aruba and everywhere else, and day trips and stuff like that. How she spent taxpayers' money on him, allegedly, and he paid her back in cash. And for you who don't know how she spent it, I'll show you. Oh yeah, John Congan, should we tell Fanny what it means in Europe? Yeah, I said it earlier. We should tell her that in Europe, Fanny is the front end of a woman's anatomy. So no matter how she turns, see what I did there? Her name is the entirety of the female nether regions. And that is her parents' fault. Thank you for the super chat, Jan. Worldwide, she is covered. Yes, just cause. Attacks on black women. No, it isn't. I wouldn't care if she was any ethnicity. If she behaved, if a woman named Fanny behaves that way, I will make that same joke. It has nothing to do with her skin color. See, I'm so tired of hearing these idiots call my name as Fanny in a way to attempt to humiliate me because, like silly schoolboy, the name reminds me of a woman's rear, of her behind. Boo-hoo! You're the district attorney in Fulton County, and you are this thin-skinned? You are this easily offended? Of course you're not, but you have to play and pretend you are for other people in order to get sympathy, so they ignore the fact that you screwed a married man who you employed. Trump apparently joked about his first name in March. I've been joking about her first name since long before that. Long before that. I started joking about her name when I started the coverage of this case over a year ago. Willis has been scrutinized for allegedly showing favoritism to a former lover of Nathan Wade, whom she appointed as special prosecutor. I don't think he is a former lover. I really don't. I think they are still doing the donkey donk. Just better at hiding it now. Judge Scott, in the interference case, Judge Scott McAfee said the district attorney acted with a tremendous lapse in judgment, and he found an appearance of impropriety, but added that the defendants had failed to meet their burden to proving a conflict of interest based on Willis and Wade's romantic relationship. Yeah, but that is now up to the appeals court, who will bring it up eventually. Wade resigned as special prosecutor after the judge ruled that either he or Willis had to leave the case against former president. The Georgia Appellate Court is set to hear a challenge to McAfee's ruling that allowed Willis to continue on the case. Willis has maintained strong support from Democrat voters. Yeah, Jesus Christ. For frick's sake, I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent. You can't condone this absolute horrid behavior just because that person is in your own party. You just can't. Because then you approve of it. There's no middle ground here. Either you are against corruption in the DA's office or you're against it. Especially if it's within your own party. Then you should purge your own party. O.B. Bealey. Disagree about the name. It's a big deal to be addressed as who you are in certain areas. Okay, I have a pun for that too. Of course, the internet does what it wants, but media and in court, not okay, and most would correct you. Okay, thank you. B. Billy also adds, definitely should not be so stuck to either part. Yeah. This is pure deflection. Just because we make fun of her, she's using that to make people forget that she is a corrupt district attorney. That's it. No, I think that is the claim from Trump, that she changed the pronunciation. Yeah, she won the primary election last month, taking 87% of the vote. But she still have to go up against someone else, which I hope somebody actually does. Independent or anything, that as many people as possibly can vote her out. All right, that was that. Are they back? Of course they're not. I was roughly 8 minutes behind, and I've been talking for a while, and they are still on a comfort break. Dun, dun, dun. What else can we talk about? Let's see what Thug Daily has to say about today. That's more fun. See here, share this, and let's see what Thug Daily has to say. Continuing with the state's questioning of the star witness, Lil Woody. Nathan Wade's interview on TV will probably get me struck. So, yeah. So I will try to find another way to cover it than to play it. But I do know that from what I've heard from other lawyers and the minuscule thing I've seen myself, he misrepresents law, statute, and constitution. He misrepresents the relationship between him and Fannie Willis, and then, like a coward, he ran off when the questions were started to get heated. Anyone know when the Melly trial is starting again? That might take a while. I actually have no idea. Seems like the court reporter and Woody got a little friendship going on. As he first sits down, she makes sure to point out a new shocks. Oh, that's a charming fellow. Yeah, I have a Discord. It's for members. So if you're a member, you also have access to my Discord. And for you who are considering becoming a member, it's $3 a month. You get access to all my members-only content. And it is, I think it's getting close to 100 hours of content just for you guys. And in there, it's not as much law as it is about me, so we get to know each other better. The farm, the renovations I'm doing on the farm, personal thoughts, stuff like that. The state begins by asking a series of shootings targeted at Woody. They asked if Woody believed he was being retaliated against, and why. Woody, clearly, they all thought I killed not. I would assume that is the rumor cops put out there in order to get him to answer better. The states, are you concerned about being labeled a snitch? I don't care what I'm labeled as, he says. Sounds like at some point Woody became in possession of Nat's chain. He ended up returning it. He told the detective previously that he was the one who stole it, but to understand today he says it was a lie. The states repeatedly asked Woody if he's concerned about being a snitch. Yeah, done that most of the day today, and should be asked and answered, but then it's the having a gun in a recreation center. Why did the police lock you up? Because he's Woody. According to the state, Contrary Zachary bought him the gun. Contrary Zachary is another state's witness who also gave statements to the police implicated defendants in this case. He is also SB's cousin. So, yeah, so two people who are snitching against the defendants claim the other one bought the gun. One bought the gun from another, and they might testify to it in the trial to hold that against the defendants. Yeah, you can't make this crap up. The state is charging people who wasn't a part of that crime. Oh, this is so stupid. For members, I will post another link to Discord in the community section on my YouTube channel. Hold on while I get that. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see there. Create invitation there. My channel. Community. This is for Discord and for freak's sake. Discord. There. Now it's a new link on my community page for members only. There you go. Okay. How long can she question him, asking him the same question on and how many days? As long as the judge allows her. Have they done their daily call for a mistrial yet? I assume when they come back from this break, if anything bad happened, they will take it up to the judge. What else can I talk about? Oh, while I... have I told you guys I'm going to the United States in August? I will fly over on August 7 to Houston. I will spend the weekend in Houston. Then I will go to New Orleans, then up to Atlanta, then up to Knoxville, then to Delphi, Indiana, and then up to the Great Lakes. So from south to north in a period of 17 days. That will be fun. And if you live or are in the neighborhood of one or more on one of those places I'm visiting, we can have a meetup of sorts. I will make videos and stream if I am in an area with free Wi-Fi. Eric Rose says they want him to admit transporting it across state line. Yeah. probably, because then he would commit a federal crime, which then the feds are after him. Oh, we are probably close on the projected trial time. Oh, we are past the projected trial time. The judge was adamant in one of the last pre-trial hearings that this trial is scheduled for 6 months. That was April 28. That was 6 months. Now it's way past that. Now it's June 14th. And we are nowhere near the end of the state's case in chief. We are currently, I believe, on the witness list, we are at 80 something out of 209. So we are not even halfway through the prosecution's witness list. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. So if it keeps going at this rate, closing arguments will be sometime in 2025. Say they speed through the rest of the witnesses, which I don't believe they will. They will, if the final 120 takes as long time as the first 80, that would take an additional 9 months for the prosecution's case in chief alone. And then you have the defense stating case in chief. Here's what if we get there, then I assume that corrupt Judge Glanville will say, I have to limit your time to the defense because this is taking too long, and he won't allow them a proper defense. And then after that, you have the state's rebuttal, which I assume they will call all 209 one more time. Yeah, we will be stuck with this. But here's the thing. Just with the jury, we will probably have issues because people get into accidents. They get sick. They have to move. Am I on pause? Oh, damn, I didn't realize. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. Yeah, that's my phone ring. It's Friday evening and I still get calls. That was my sister calling. I have to call her back. You enjoy the show meanwhile.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. All chairs present? All right. Thank you, Debbie Hudson. All right. Members of the jury, with your indulgence and patience, we're going to go probably about another 20 minutes or so, and then we're going to recess for the day, okay? All right. Madam?
Mr. Copeland, what blood set were you a part of?
Can you repeat that?
What blood set were you a part of?
Where blood said what I was part of?
Yes, sir.
I wasn't part of no real blood set.
Did you ever claim to be a Billy Blood?
I said I was.
And were you?
No.
Did you tell Detective Gaither that you were, I mean, not Detective Gaither, Detective Lewis, in that February 21st interview that you were Billy Blood?
I don't know what I told them in when they questioned me.
Okay. Do you recall talking to Detective Lewis about the meeting with Mo where they said that they were going to kill you?
Huh?
Do you remember talking to Detective Lewis about the meeting with Mo, who was in prison, and that they were planning on killing you?
I don't recall.
Okay. And do you recall her asking you why you weren't at this meeting?
Huh?
Do you recall her asking you why you weren't at this meeting?
Why was I at the meeting?
Why were you not at the meeting?
At what meeting?
The meeting with the Bloods, the meeting of the Bloods trying to kill you.
I don't recall.
Okay. And do you, sure, February 21st,
What year?
2015. And then do you recall telling her you weren't down with them, but that you were Billy Blood?
Am I requiring a telephone number to enter your Discord? You have to be a member. How Discord handles it, it's up to Discord. It's the Discord itself, not me.
I don't recall.
Okay. And then do you recall her asking, who are you with now?
I don't recall.
Okay. And you told her at that point they got mad.
I told her.
You told Detective Lewis.
Oh, this a lady?
Yes. At that point they got mad because I didn't go back with them. I started hanging out with Thug and them, so I'm YSL.
No, I don't recall.
Did you consider yourself part of the gang YSL?
Basis.
It's an improper question.
I didn't mean for you to speak. I just want you to give me a basis.
702, the James Province.
Overrule, sir.
Did you consider yourself part of YSL, the gang?
Gang, I consider myself 372.
When did you consider yourself 372?
What you mean, when?
Did you consider yourself a 372 when you called yourself Billy Blood?
I always been 372.
So even as a part of YSL, were you considered, or do you consider yourself 372?
Gang, I'm always 372 when it come to gang.
Did you also consider yourself part of YSL?
372 when you speaking on gang.
Yes or no? Did you consider yourself a part of YSL?
But you saying gang wise, like
So you did not consider yourself part of YSL, the gang?
when it come to gang, I consider myself 372.
Okay, so now he remembers the 372.
Now, going back to June of 2015 when you were arrested for the Fed charges, we talked about the gun that was at the Dunbar Center. When you were arrested, where were you arrested at?
Which time?
When you got arrested in June?
June 10th?
Yes.
At the house.
Did they find any guns at the house?
Yeah, they did.
Were you charged in your federal charges with that gun? Do you recall?
Yes.
Okay. Now, once you were arrested, were you brought in to Atlanta Police Department headquarters for an interview?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember how long that interview was?
It was long.
Do you remember it being about 9 hours?
It was long.
It was long. Okay. And during the course of that interview, did you speak with multiple detectives?
Yeah, I did.
Do you remember speaking with anyone from the ATF or?
Yeah, I did.
And was Detective Gaither in that interview?
She was at some point.
What about Detective Dennis?
Who?
Detective Dennis.
Detective Gaither. Oh, I almost forgot about her. That's the gang expert who flunked out of college, who then jumped from work to work until she applied for cop school. They accepted her. Then she became a cop, and for 3 years, she said this on the stand, for 3 years, she avoided going on 911 calls to the extent that she was forced to different departments. She was a department jumper for a few years before she got to the gang unit, which apparently is the place where the absolute worst cops will end up in. If they can't do real cop work, they will sooner or later be sent to the gang unit. And there, she was very effective at harassing people on the street. As she claimed she went up and talked to individuals about their gang affiliation. Absolute fusterclock. And then she retired before her 20 years as a cop in Atlanta. A few months later, she took a job at Cobb County District Attorney's Office, where she left after just a few months. In my opinion, they discovered what an absolute hack she is, or was. Probably still is. And gave her the offer, either you quit or you're fired. And she chose to quit. Detective Gauthier, she refers to reports that are missing, but only the part of the reports that, conveniently enough, the parts that are useful for the prosecution, those parts were retrieved. Videos, jailhouse calls, everything. But her actual report, missing. I assume it's because the prosecution and the cops colluded and shredded them with the help of Judge Glanville. Even though in testimony and in the few notes that was found, it was referenced to Slug meeting with cops in the hospital, the judge agreed with the prosecution that the defense have to prove there are recordings. He wasn't satisfied with the few notes and the references to interviews in the hospital. So fuck off. Ow. Oh, that was Mr. Jingles. He sat in my lap, allowed me to pet him for a few seconds, and then sorry for the outburst. It's exactly just because it's not their burden. But the judge made it their burden. And I say they made it. Because since Judge Glanville is this corrupt, he wouldn't even allow them to ask witnesses about it. It was that bad.
Yes, do you remember him?
Yeah, I think he was too.
And what about Detective Thor?
I think he was too.
I hope the defense calls Detective Gauthier and
And
hammers her up.
when you were
If Judge
arrested
Glanville allows it.
and brought down to APD, did you want to give them truthful information?
Again, I was going to jail.
Do you recall telling them that you're not going to worry about me lying.
Can you say that again?
Sure.
Thank you for the donation via PayPal. Thank you, Roy. Thank you so much. You didn't leave a message. If you donate through PayPal, I get more of it. YouTube takes a 30% cut. PayPal takes a 2 to 5% cut. So, and if you leave a message on your donation via PayPal, I will read it out here as well. Thank you so much, Roy. Thank you so much for your support of this channel. The occasional super chat memberships, that is what keeps this channel afloat. Just having this channel, it's about $350 to $400 a month with the StreamYard and the art list, because I need licenses for the few music snippets I play, the Canva for the thumbnails and everything. So yeah, and the separate internet I have to have for this. So yeah, thank you if you choose to support my channel monetarily, with monies. Thank you so much.
In the early part of that interview, do you recall telling them you're not going to have to worry about me lying?
Probably so.
Why did you want to speak to the police that day?
Because I was trying to finesse my way out of jail.
And what did you think you had to do to finesse yourself out of jail?
Well, they kept asking about Young Thug, so that's the direction I had to go.
Did they ask you about anything else?
They asked me about the gun. I think they asked me about the gun first.
Did they ask you about anything else?
Yeah, they asked me about a lot.
Do you recall them asking you about Nuts murder?
Yes.
And did you speak with them about Nuts murder?
Thank you, Vamp, for your $5 super chat for my beer and whiskey fund. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty stocked up, but that will probably change later today when I have my Sovsit and beer stream. And in that Sovsit and beer stream, I will introduce you all to the Wheel of Regrets. The Wheel of Regrets means that for every $50 in Super Chat, gifted memberships, or PayPal, I will spin that wheel. And it has vodka shots, whiskey shots, sour shots, hot sauces, garlic cloves, and stuff like that. Tequila shot. And for the tequila shot, yeah, it's this one. It's absolutely vile, but it's entertainment. So that is grifting. The few grifting streams I have is when we just hang out, have a drink, and you watch me suffer. Okay? But that is later today. Let's get back to the trial. And thank you again, Vamp.
Yes.
And did you speak with them about the gun at the Dunbar Center?
Yes.
And the gun at your house?
Yes.
Okay. And did you also speak with them about Young Thug?
Yes.
And did you talk with them about Little D from Mechanicsville?
Yes.
And what about Shannon?
Yes.
Now, when you got to that interview, did you believe that people were trying to kill you?
Uh-huh.
Asked and answered. She has asked that question in different variations for days. And now all of a sudden, yeah, sure.
I thought people trying to kill me for a long time.
Specifically in June, did you still believe that people thought you snitched on them regarding the murder of Donovan Thomas?
Can you say it one more time?
Sure. When you had this interview in June of 2015, did you think going into that interview that people thought that you had snitched on them regarding the murder of Donovan Thomas?
Overruled. Well, no, I take it back. I'm sustaining the question.
Why did you think people were trying to kill you?
Because I was paranoid. People were shooting at me.
Did you tell the detectives in this June 10th interview that everyone in the world is trying to kill me because they think I told on them?
No, I told them that people were trying to kill me because they said I killed Nut.
Do you recall telling the detectives about the fact that that Thug's sister had called you or had texted you?
Can you say that again?
Sure. Let me ask you this. Did Thug's sister ever text you regarding you going to the police about Nut's murder?
I texted her and told her that I was going to kill Thug when I get a chance. That's what you're talking about?
No, but why did you text her that you were going to kill Thug when you get a chance?
Because I let a lot of people get in my ear.
And what did they get in your ear about? It's effect on the listener, Your Honor.
Objection.
What did they get in your ear about?
A whole lot of stuff. People coming to me every 5 minutes with something about not just Thug, it was just a lot of people, but
So people got in his ear, and he says he is going to kill young Thug the next time he sees him. How does this prove that he is doing things in furtherance of the YSL gang? It doesn't. On the contrary, it tells me he did stuff against the YSL. This is so stupid.
mainly most people was coming to me about Thug.
What
So-
about the?
Nah, they just kept coming to me like he ain't right. He ain't supposed to. I don't know how to answer that.
I mean, but what were they telling you such that you thought that you had to kill Thug?
Say it again.
What were they telling you such that you thought in your mind you wanted to kill him?
That to watch him because everybody saying I killed Nut and they didn't want that on them, so they gonna put it on me. I don't know. Like it was so many different people just telling me stuff. So
But to kill somebody, what were they telling you to make you think you had to kill Thug?
what did they tell me that made me think I had to kill him?
Yes.
That I better watch him?
Why?
Because they said I was messing up his career. Like they saying that I was putting him in stuff that I got going on. Like they were saying all type of stuff. Like
So why would you messing up his career mean you have to kill Thug?
they said to me, okay, a female came to me and told me that she heard something. Then another person came to me and told me that he heard something. So people kept coming to me and I was paranoid because I had said something to a friend of mine where I felt as in whatever I was saying to him had got back out.
So let's start there. What did you tell your friend? That guy that you think got back to him?
I was planning on him.
Why would you be plotting on Thug?
I don't recall.
Okay. Do you recall telling the detectives that you called, that Dolly texted you and was cursing you out?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is years ago. Do you remember what she was cursing you out about?
Because I told her I was going to kill Thug when I see him.
Do you recall the last 4 digits of the number that she was texting you from?
No.
Do you recall giving that full phone number to the detectives?
No.
Do you recall giving them a phone number ending in 1990 for his sister?
Probably so.
Which sister are we texted you?
Dolly.
Okay. Did she have another name?
I said Dolly.
Did you call her something else?
Yeah, I call her Dolly and Max.
Okay. Do you recall texting Dolly damn, your brother's trying to have me killed?
I probably have,
Okay. Why would you text her that?
because I thought what I was said to somebody else had got back to him.
So what did you tell somebody else that you thought got back to him?
I don't recall.
What, again, would make you text that to her brother, to Dolly? Damn, your brother's trying to have me killed. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell I ever did to him? Why would you text that to her?
I told you I was paranoid. It was so much going on. It was so much going on. I had so many people in my head. And that's just my way of trying to force a reaction.
Force a reaction from who?
From him, to see how he react to it.
Why were you trying to force a reaction from him?
Because I didn't know what the truth was. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on.
Now, we talked about in February, strike that. We talked about in January, people thinking that you had killed Nut, right? Also in February, did people think you were trying to kill Nut?
Huh?
Did people think that you killed Nut, excuse me?
Objection calls for speculation.
Did you,
I'll sustain formal question.
did you believe that people thought that you killed Nut?
Did I believe it?
Yes.
People were convinced.
Okay.
Eric Rose asks, how is this man free, honestly? Because he's testifying for the prosecution. This prosecution does not care what kind of people they put back on the streets, as long as they can put young Thug in prison. They don't care one bit. They would call in mass murderers, serial killers, serial rapists. They would call in anyone in order to get young Thug in prison.
By the time we got to June, did you still have that same belief? When you
Did
got
I
arrested?
have that belief?
Yes, when you got arrested in June, did you still have that same belief that people thought you had that you had killed Nut?
I don't know. Like, you know, it was so many people on so many people. Just like a lot of people said they know I didn't do it. A lot of people said I did it. So I don't.
And I'll ask you again, did you kill Nut?
No.
Now, when you got to this interview, do you recall speaking with the detectives about the night that Nut was killed?
Can you say that again?
Sure. When you got to this June interview, do you recall speaking to detectives about the night that Nut was killed?
Yeah.
Okay.
What interview?
The June one?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you have concern during this June interview that Thug had observed you speaking to police?
Huh?
Did you have concern during this June interview that Thug had seen you speaking to police?
No.
Do you recall telling the detectives in this June interview, long story short, the detectives was calling my phone and he was right there. And they asked you, Thug was right there? And you said, yeah. So I answered the phone and he's looking at me like this, but I don't know what's going on. They asked you, why is he looking like that? And you said, because he see me answering the
Now she's testifying again, and the judge allows it.
phone for them.
No, he told me that when I answered the phone, I answered my phone on speaker. So it was my baby mama calling saying that the investigators wanted to talk to me. I was like, for what? And that's when he said what he wanted to talk to me about. And he got on the phone, asked me, could I come down there and interview him? And Thug was like, go down there.
Why were you concerned then that he saw you answering the phone for the police in front of him?
I don't know. I don't know about him being concerned.
Why would you tell the police that?
Because it's the police.
If there wasn't an issue, why would there be a need to tell the police that Thug?
Yeah. If you want, yeah, I agree with Eric Rose, who says they obviously just don't want to cross this week. We keep going in circles. Yeah. This is a known tactics for both prosecution and the defense, that if you have the opportunity to have the jury rest overnight or over weekend on your mic drop moment, you take that. And yeah. So I assume that in maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, we will see them nothing further. And then Judge Glanville will say, yeah, see you next Tuesday. No, sorry. See you Monday.
Because at the time the police questioned me, it was me against everybody. So they saying that they want Thug, and that's what I'm trying to do. Get them up off me. So I had text Thug phone the day before they locked me up. And I texted their phone and told them that I was gonna kill him when I see him. So the police got me the next day, and when they got me, that was it.
Let's go back. What day are you talking about? You texted
June.
in June. You say you texted Thug. Who did you text?
One day, I texted their phone. I called his sister and told her, tell your brother when I see him, I'm gonna kill him.
Okay.
I don't care who see me, I'm gonna kill him. Me and her were arguing on the phone. As me and her were arguing on the phone, I got mad and hang up the phone. The very next day, 2 days later, I woke up and the police was at the door.
Okay.
When they got me, I was mad with the world.
And were you arrested again for those guns?
Yes.
All right. And that's the only thing you were arrested for those guns.
And I think they put him.
So this is a guy who wants to kill Young Thug, who wanted to kill Young Thug. And the prosecution has him on the stand talking about it, and somehow this proves that Shannon Stillwell was in the car. And that Young Thug knew about it. This is so stupid. This is insanely stupid.
Ain't charges on me or something. I think they put some more charges on me or something.
And I understand that you said you texted his sister Dolly that you were going to kill.
Nah, I don't think I texted. I told her over the phone that I was gonna kill him.
But was that in response of you asking her whether or not he was trying to kill you?
Oh no, I didn't ask her nothing.
Okay. So why did you tell the detectives that?
Because it's the detective.
Were you concerned that Thug did not want to hang around you anymore because you had been talking to the police?
No.
Do you recall telling detectives in the same June interview, he ain't want to hang around me anymore? And they asked you, this Thug?
Thank you, it's Rebecca Starr. Hey, good to see you. Don't have PayPal, sorry. No worries. I'll take this as well. Thank you for your $5 super chat. She says, don't have PayPal, sorry. Did you know Woody was on Atlanta top 12 dangerous criminals? Also can't wait till Attorney Melnick is back. Oh, because I remember from Friday that where he went, he might be out of reach, out of cell tower or anything. So when he gets back and finds out what's been done to his client, because he was real mad at Friday for what the prosecution did to Woody. Now, I'm not surprised after listening to him now when he actually says stuff. Yeah, I can see it. Him being among top 12 dangerous criminals. And listen, folks, this is the prosecution's star witness. This is who they are going to use to somehow, this guy who on the stand admits he wanted to kill Young Thug, all of a sudden is the person who's going to prove that Young Thug ordered and Shannon Stillwell did it. This is so stupid. This is immensely stupid, and probably is why ADA Sparkles dropped the charges. Because if that is all they have, we already know Young Thug's cars was not involved. They weren't. Jesus Christ.
And he said, yeah, like, damn, what the hell? Why the hell these niggas don't want me around? Do you recall being concerned that Thug did not want you hanging around him anymore?
Well, he actually called me a few times, tried to get me to come around. I didn't want to go around.
So why would you tell the police, why the hell these niggas don't want me around?
Because I'm talking to the police and they are after me.
When you were arrested, were you not trying to get out of jail?
For sure.
So why would you be telling them lies if you were trying to get out of jail?
So let me say this.
Why would somebody lie to the cops in order to get out of jail? Are you serious, Miss Hilton? Seriously? People lying to get out of jail? How about most of them? Most of people who commit crimes and are being questioned, risking jail, will lie. For fuck's sake.
If I tell the police the alphabet is ABCD, right? The police gonna tell me what come out the D. E come out the D, I think. ABCDE. Man, I don't know, man. I'm not about to go through all that. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, this is investigators. They lock me up, they targeting me. They constantly, every time I come outside, spit on the ground, SWAT team got me. Like,
So why would you stay in a 9-hour interview if they were out to come and get you?
you see what you said? That's how bad they was after me. They sit right there and put up with me for that long.
Okay, but you kept talking to them for the entire 9 hours. I'll rephrase.
I stand question.
Did you speak with them for the entire 9 hours?
He was interrogated for 9 hours. 9 hours interrogated. I'm quite sure there are a bunch of convictions overturned for that amount of, yeah.
Handcuffed to the behind my back, leg shackled to the chair. And guess what I know? When I get in talking to them, I'm going to the jail. So guess what I'm trying to do? Trying to buy as much time as I can before I go to the jail. That right there.
All right. Can you post you send me a Yankee Echo 1? Is that June 10, 2015?
Yeah.
And is that the interview that we're discussing right now?
Yeah.
And in that interview, that when you were first brought in, once you were arrested, are you still in your regular clothes?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes for the record?
Yes.
Now, sitting in this room, did you believe that the truth would have hurt you as you were doing this interview?
Hey, Sylvia. Yeah, I agree. This testimony proves he was a criminal and a liar. Doesn't show RICO. This is so stupid.
It's not about the truth hurt me. It's about the state of mind I was in.
Okay, but did you believe the truth would have hurt you?
I don't know.
So why won't you tell the truth?
Because I'm about to go to jail. So the state of mind I'm in is I'm about to go to jail.
Right. So would lying have helped you to get out of jail?
It have.
Didn't they tell you they were going to have to verify any information you told them?
They did.
Okay. So why would you tell a lie if they had to verify what they told you and you were trying to get out of jail?
Because he's a
I don't
liar.
know.
Did you believe the truth would hurt
You
them?
showed it
Say it again.
for days now, Miss Hilton, that this man.
You said, do I
is a
believe the
liar.
truth gonna hurt Thug?
Yes.
That'll be his problem.
Right. But if you're in this state of mind, why would you be in there just telling lies?
Because that's who the police after. They locking me up, but they're acting him.
but they're locking you up and you are trying to get out of jail, wouldn't you tell the truth to get out of jail?
Why should he? He lied to you, and you let him go. He's no longer in contempt. He lied to you, and now he's out. So it works for him. Lying to the prosecution, to the cops, to the jury, to us. It works for him to lie.
It depends on who is the truth to.
Okay. Now, during the course of your interview, did the detective ask you, why were you so concerned about whether or not Thug knew you were talking to the police?
Can you say it again?
Let me just ask you a better question. Why were you concerned about whether or not Thug knew you were talking to the police?
I wasn't concerned.
Do you recall the detectives asking you, why does it matter to Thug if you're talking to the police or not, if he has no say in what happened with Nut? And your response is, between us men, I want to say they had something to do with it.
What about it?
Do you recall telling that to the detectives?
They actually will be
Yeah.
done.
Okay. And then when they asked you who was the they, do you recall saying Thug and them?
Yes,
Okay.
it is the
Did
witness.
you recall saying that?
That is the star witness
Like, yeah.
of the murder charge.
And then they said Thug and them who? And you said Shannon and Bentley.
Say that again.
Sure. When they then asked you Thug and who, you responded Shannon and Bentley and all, because all of them just acting funny towards me.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Because it's the investigators.
Again, why say Shannon? Why say Shannon?
Because they know me and him be together. It's easy to say with Shannon to get. I don't know. Like I told you, it's the state of mind I was in. When the police got me, I was doing a lot of stuff. I was, man, like they just caught me early in the morning. Like
Early in the morning, is that not when you're your freshest?
Huh?
And early in the morning, is that not when you're your freshest?
no, they can't get me out. I'm asleep. I hear the door. Boom, 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 boom. If I'm asleep and she sleep, who being at this door like that?
Okay.
So it shot my brain. I've been shot ever since I looked like those scenes of the police. I can't forget it. Like
Ms. Hilton.
Okay.
All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this might be a natural point for us to recess for today.
Okay, they are recessing for the jury. It will continue. So I guess they have some motions to discuss. Okay. Now, first of all, thumbs up, folks, on this stream. YouTube's algorithm loves interactions in a chat and interactions with a thumbs up. Or if you hate me, give me a thumbs down. Just as long as you're interacting. I mean, seriously. Okay. This means they are not done with the direct examination. And what we learned is he's a liar and he wanted to kill young Thug. Ta-da! Now, let's skip ahead a bit. Oh, wait a minute. We might learn how next week is going in the court date. See if they have any days off.
All right, our witness has left us. Ladies and gentlemen, jury, do you have any ministerial inquiry with me? Okay, remember next week, middle of the week, Wednesday is Juneteenth, and it is a holiday which the county observes, so we will not be holding court on Wednesday, okay? So as for the other questions you all asked me about the early part of July, haven't made a decision on that. So more to follow a little bit later on that, okay? All right, anything else with me? Okay, all right. Let's review as so we can get you on the road. Remember to leave your notepads in the basketball and or not recap, handicap, otherwise tells you that you can and you may know about anything that has been testified to this far. You can only consider what's been lawfully presented within the four walls of this courtroom. Within the four walls of this courtroom. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if anybody should try and reach out.
I see you talking about how he will not somehow he will never be seen again. Woody. Nothing happened to Slug, and nothing have happened to Woody all this time in prison, jail, and outside. So no, I don't think anything will happen to him. Wednesday is June 19th. Yeah, Juneteenth. Okay.
To you by any means, mode of conversation or conveyance to myself, ladies and gentlemen, please, that may be going. All right, our advocate, uncles, or any others. Okay, all right, we're in recess until Monday at 8:30.
Okay. Is there anything?
Inquiry with me.
Doesn't look like that.
Okay, anybody else? All right, happy Father's Day to all of you. That, or as I mentioned,
Yeah,
so
Judge
or-
Glanville, you wanted to put Mr. Steele in jail for Father's Day, you absolute four-quad. Yeah, that it seems that we are done for the day. All right. That was interesting. For a week's testimony from Woody, we finally learned that he is a lying liar who lies. Porcelain Thunder, behave. We know that Woody is a lying liar who lies. We know that cops in Fulton County will interview you for 9 hours straight until you give the answers they want. We also know that 10 years later or 9 years later, that will be held against you as if it's your fault, and that he wanted to kill Young Thug. That would have been a half-hour testimony if they actually wanted to. And they are not done with direct examination. Jesus Christ. Now, in about an hour and 50 minutes, we will be having Sovsit and Beer stream with the appearance of the Wheel of Regrets. Oh, you're going to like that if you haven't seen that one before. That with you paying me to suffer. I will, let's see here. For every $50, I will spin this wheel, and what it ends up on, I will do. As this wild sauce. Oh, I don't have wild sauce anymore. It's exchanged with IG lemon drop hot sauce because we ran out of wild sauce, or I ran out of wild sauce. So that is what we will be doing in about an hour and 40 minutes. Okay, folks. I'm actually going to redirect you over to that coming stream so you can put the notification on so you don't miss out on it. And I will see you in less than 2 hours. Until then, hug your family. Unless your family is crap, then screw them and give your love to the people who deserve it. And thank you for your support with Super Chats, gifted memberships, PayPal, and everything. All right. I will see you all later. Bye-bye.
In the courthouse where time stood still, generations pass on the hill. Prosecutors come and go, defense attorneys putting on a show. Old district attorney thought she was tight, came in to visit her tonight. They said justice was blinded by her sins. As the trial spun, no one wins. Endless trial like a river flows. Truth and lies, nobody knows. Corruption's gripped tight as